Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our board meeting of March 26, our open session. Before calling the meeting to order, I would like to welcome each and every one that are here this afternoon and look forward to a great meeting. I'd like to also take the time to welcome back our colleagues, Jill Promoli, after a short leave of absence. Glad to see you back at the table and welcome back. All right. So with that said, I call the meeting to order, and I'm going to ask for our land acknowledgement at this time. Thank you. And when we get to our national anthem, so those who can stand, please stand for the national anthem. Thank you.
The land upon which we work, live, and sustain ourselves is the ancestral and treaty lands of the Michizagig Anishinaabe, also known today as the Mississaugas of the Credit, the rightful caretakers and title holders of this land. We also recognize the rich pre-contact history and relationships which include the Anishinaabe and the Ongwe Hongwe.
Since European contact, this land continues to be home to indigenous and non-indigenous peoples. As responsible community members, we value the diversity, dignity, and worth of all people.
Colonialism displaced and dispossessed indigenous peoples of their ancestral land
and continues to deny their basic human rights, dignities, and freedoms.
We are committed to learning true history to reconcile, make reparations, and fulfill our treaty obligations to the original peoples and our collective responsibilities to the lands, water, animals, and each other for future generations.
Thank you. Okay, so there is no addition to the agenda. It's here. I'm gonna tonight. Trustee Brad McDonald is online. He's out of town. Requests to be online tonight, which was approved. I have no other regrets. So with that said, Trustee Hobbs and Trustee Johal has moved the agenda for me. All those in favor? Carries. Thank you. Any declaration of conflict of interest? See none. I'm going to go to staff recognition, and I'm going to turn it over to Vice Chair at this time.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair Green, and through you. We are pleased to celebrate and honor our retiring staff members. Each month, the Peel District School Board recognizes employees who are retiring or have recently retired. Today, we are delighted to acknowledge our 42 outstanding individuals concluding their service with the board. In them are 34 classroom teachers, 1 senior manager for business services, 1 manager for design and construction, 2 designated early childhood educators, 2 custodians, and 2 educational assistants. All the names and titles of these retirees are displayed on the screen here. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to each retiree for their dedication and service to the board, our students, their families, and the community at large. It is through the collective effort and sincere commitment of our staff that we continue to make a positive and lasting difference in the lives of those we serve. Your unwavering dedication to supporting students in achieving their full potential is deeply appreciated. We wish you all the very best for a happy retirement. Congratulations and thank you once again.
Thank you. Trustee Clark, Trustee Cameron, let's put them on the floor for me. All those in favor? Carries. Thank you. Okay, next item. Under the chair's announcement, just wanted to let trustee know since our last board meeting, myself and the vice chair continue to meet with the director on a bi-weekly basis to ensure that the board strategic plan continue to move forward and align with our student success and achievement. And the director also keep us informed when there's any challenges that may come to the board. So we continue to do that, and those meetings are very, very productive. Also met with one of our federation to listen to their concern, and was able to bring those concerns back to the director and the associate director, who is now dealing with those matters. The last time we met with all of our federations, I promised them that there are certain things that we were going to look into and see how we can make things better in terms for our staff. And on the staff side, the Associate Director Gil and his team continue to work with the team to ensure that there's timely information is passed on to staff when there's going to be any changes. In terms of other things that I promised to look into, due to the provincial election, we have not able to meet with ministry as yet to able to discuss those other issues. So now that the election is over and a new minister is appointed, we are trying to set up a meeting. And as soon as I set up that meeting, I will come back to the board to let you know the outcomes of that meeting and the next steps. And finally, tonight, I want to take the time to basically congratulate Dr. Logan on her retirement. And as you know, she's retiring from our board. And Dr. Logan, on behalf of the board, I want to say thank you for the time since you came into this board, the work that you have done through the equity department, and the impact that you have made. I believe that it will last a long time. You have created and make changes which we all can look back on as we move forward. So I want to say on behalf of the board, all the best to you and best wishes. And wherever you go, I know as an educator, you never retire. You just move from one station to another station. So wherever you go, all the best to you. Wishing you the best of luck. Thank you. And by the way, I'm going to try to make it to the retirement. I know it's a long drive, but I'm going to try my best. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm gonna ask Trustee Davies and Trustee McDonald to put those on the floor for me. K. McDonald. All those in favor? Carries. Thank you. Then I'm going to move down to report from Trustee appointed to external organization. We got one report this afternoon for Trustee Benjamin. Trustee Benjamin.
Thank you, and through your chair, I have two brief reports. Report from about the VMBC. Now, I represent the PDSB on the board of the VMBC. This organization has opened my eyes to the value of volunteering in the community, as well as the benefits that people of all ages, as well as communities, receive through the services of the committed volunteers. Kareen Strong, its executive director, founded the VMBC in 2008, and for the past 17 years, nurtured the growth and development of this organization in the region of Peel. This organization provided many PDSB students opportunities to earn volunteer hours and also acquire skills that would help them later on in life. Today, after 17 years as executive director, Corinne Strong is stepping down from this position, but her services have been recognized by Volunteer Canada, and she has been awarded the King Charles III Coronation Medal for her contributions in the field of public service. We wish Corinne Strong the very best for the future. My second report is, as a member of the PSARTS committee, I would like to report that the Peel Safe and Active Routes to School Committee is calling all Peel schools to participate in the Bike to School event from the end of May to the end of June 2025. This event, spread over 5 weeks, is a celebration of cycling and active transportation, and PDSB schools can register for the week of their choice. The first 100 schools to register will get a promo kit, and the information and flyers have been sent to all superintendents of family of schools. I hope our schools will actively participate in this event. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Trustee Benjamin. Trustee Promoli, Trustee Bailey is putting this on the floor for me. All those in favor? Carries. Thank you. We're going on to item 9, which is approval of minutes from previous board meetings. And we got the minutes from our February 26th board meeting. They are here for approval. Trustee Brad McDonald and Line and Trustee Lucas Oves. Question, concerns? See none. All those in favor? Carries. Thank you. We're going down to item 10, which is minutes from and motion for consideration from committees. So the first one, we have the minutes from our special advisory meeting of February 18th. Trustee Benjamin, Trustee House. Question, concern? See none. All those in favor? Carries. Okay. Out of that meeting also, there is 2 motions that came out of that meeting. They're pretty lengthy. I hope trustees have them. So I'm just going to read the headings, if you don't mind. So the first motion is arising from the meeting of Special Ed Advisory Council meeting held on March the 18th. The following recommendation is brought to board: a vocational program 1 review and placement, which is improved communication, education, and vocational 1 by development and standardized communication material to be clearly explained the program and post-secondary option, and program and staff expedite the approval process for new vocational curriculum resource, expanded the criteria for allowing education assistant to support school with vocational 1 program. And there is a number of pieces that goes along with that. And then school experience work with elementary and secondary educator to enhance support for students in vocational 1. And then the second one is professional development, which provide release time and training for vocational 1 school team to review and adapt the new vocational 1 curriculum resource. And external partnership and advocacy, support school student success, team, department head of guidance, department head of special ed and student success, teachers and co-op. And equity consideration that the monitor and work to reduce the overrepresentation of students marginalized by institutional system in both elementary and secondary, self-contained education placement, partially those who are self-identify as indigenous, African, Black, and Afro-Caribbean, gender diverse, LGBTQ, and student experience eco-social economics and vulnerables. So those are the motion coming out of that meeting. Trustee Alves and Trustee Bailey is going to put that on the floor for me. Any question, concerns? Trustee K. McDonald, go ahead.
Through your chair, I have a couple questions around the motion.
Yeah.
So my first question is, how is the recommendations that are listed going to be moving forward?
Okay, I'm going to turn that over to Superintendent Sugato.
Thank you, and through you, Chair. Great question, Trustee McDonald. There are a number of recommendations that we have already begun to action. For example, we have started to write curriculum for Vocational One programs, and we've made a shift in the process in which students in their first 3 or 4 years will have academic curriculum, and in years 5, 6, and 7 move into workplace placement type learning and curriculum that we've begun to write. So what we have done is we've looked at all the recommendations and created timelines for implementation.
Okay, thank you for that. So in the report, under key findings, it says that parents felt there was a lack of suitable academic opportunities to replace the VOC2 program. So in terms of one, I read that you're going to be having communication out to the parents, but how are we going to ensure that our parents feel that their students are getting suitable academic opportunities? Because I read somewhere in the report where it mentioned one parent was saying that their child was not being challenged and was learning to tell the time over and over again.
Thank you, and through you, Chair. We, again, are working on the rigor of the curriculum and the expectations, making sure that we communicate and take the feedback from all of these families in the development of pathways, making sure that the individual education plan guides the program that students are getting. And we have done a tremendous amount of work in making improvements to individual education plans, making them responsive, individualized, and holding parent and student voice as far as backwards design for the destination that they want to do post-secondary. So that's all work that we've begun to do. As well, we have invested in what we're calling transition navigators through a transfer payment agreement from the ministry. And these educators are helping to bridge transitions not only between elementary and secondary schools, but from secondary schools into desired pathways, which could be right to the workforce, community, and or college or university.
Okay, thank you for that. So when you, under next steps, it was said that the special education will outline processes and timelines for a stage implementation of the approved recommendation and subsequent actions. So when do you have any dates or target dates in mind?
So the team the review was just shared with SEAC last month, and now our team is meeting to do exactly that, to look at each recommendation and the feasibility of the recommendations, and then creating timelines for implementation.
Great, thank you for that. And it also mentions that only 18% of educators felt supported by the board to work in the vocational program. And then I looked under recommendations, under 9.2.4, under professional development, there were 6 bullet points. And when I read the first for 21 to 25, it would appear to me that these things should have been happening before. So by the fact that it's listed here under the professional development, would it mean that it wasn't happening before?
So through you, Chair, thank you for the question, Trustee McDonald. We always provide professional learning opportunities to all staff across the board. But what we've learned from the review is that we need delineated focus on the Vocational One program. And as such, we have committed to, as shared, writing curriculum, providing professional learning. I myself have been to West Credit to do some professional learning and collect feedback from staff around what resources they're looking for. So that has been a commitment we've made throughout the year and have started that, but a more targeted and delineated focus will continue.
Thank you. And my second to last question is around seniority rules. Under 9.2.2, it says, explore the possibility of flexible staffing options for Vocational One courses. Example, special consideration for waiving subject qualifications, seniority rules. So I was under the impression that we didn't have the seniority rules anymore. Like I was confused when I read that.
So through you, Chair, we are looking at various ways where we can support the right staff in the right positions, but are bound by collective agreements. So I would ask perhaps Executive Manager Massimo Kangura to talk a little bit more about the seniority rules.
Thank you, and through you, Chair. Regarding the seniority order, as rightfully said by Superintendent Scacaro, we are committed to the collective bargaining process and the collective agreement as such. So any rules that apply for staffing take into consideration a number of factors, certainly guided through skills, abilities, qualifications, and certainly seniority as a factor as well. So not in any particular order, but certainly qualifications do take precedence.
Okay, thanks. So you say qualifications take precedence over seniority?
Yes, so to certain subjects are restricted, for instance, French, spec ed, and certainly staff need to have the requisite qualifications to be able to apply for those positions.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And I'd just like to thank you for the report to Superintendent Staccato, because you know, it's really important that we value the learning of all our students and have high expectations for all students. I know from personal experience, I have a friend who is extremely wealthy. Her child has Down syndrome, and she has, because of her financial situation, has been able to, her child lives independently and is now gearing to take over her family business. So it's important, you know, especially when you look back at the history of Black people, very many people didn't think at any point we could read and write and get an education. So I appreciate this effort. So thank you very much.
Thank you, and through you, Chair, I want to thank the community members and students who participated in the survey to give us such a fulsome look at the program and ways we can make improvement. And a thank you to Dr. Laura Naismith, who led this work from the research department.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to turn to Trustee Promoli, but just want to remind trustees, we need to rephrase our comments and questions sometimes, such as, I know of an individual who, so forth, not a friend, not a family. We cannot do that because we don't, we're identifying people and we don't have authority to speak to them. So I know we can, if we can say, I know of a family or I know of a circumstances, let us use that so that we don't put ourselves in any situation. Trustee Promoli.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to say thank you, first of all, to you, Superintendent, to everyone on the steering committee. Also a special shout out to Laura Naismith, who honestly brought so much heart and dedication to this work, and you can see her all the way through this too. It was such a pleasure and honor to help participate in this and to see the amount of care that went into it. There was so much consultation, so much work done to research and to see the jurisdictional scans to make sure that we were seeing the staff at this board working to make sure that they were looking for every possible avenue and opportunity to provide the best for our students in PDSB. And I was blown away by it. And I'm just so impressed by everybody. So thank you again. Thank you to everybody. I just wanted to note, you know, some of the things that stood out to me throughout this work and again in this report is just how many students, first of all, who are getting so much out of the program, but also the places to grow and the way that staff have managed to identify that and are working to address those needs too. And I just really especially want to note how much I appreciate the students who would previously have found a pathway to an OSSD who are being missed now that we no longer have the VOC2 program, and that there was so much care and work put into finding those opportunities for them under the new structure. So I really want to thank everyone for that level of attention to detail and looking for those opportunities. So I do have a question, not just a little spiel here, but So I know there's a lot of recommendations here, and I think they're just so important in making sure that we are meeting the needs of our students. My question was, we have budget coming up, and I am expecting and hopeful that we'll see some budget cases coming up along with that, or business cases, sorry. Will we be seeing business cases to help support this work coming up at budget?
Through you, Chair, that's an excellent question. And all of our business cases that we put forward in special education look at whole program renewal, not just one specific program. So there won't be one specifically to vocational one, but you will see through lines to this work in the business cases we put forward. So looking at transitions, looking at ensuring that we have the right curriculum program in place, professional learning.
Fantastic. And through you, Chair, just one more question. If we were to have similar funding this year compared to what we had in last year or previous years, would that be sufficient for what you need for the programming, or would you have extra, or would you need additional funding?
Through you, Chair, I will say that the board is very generous in their ability to make sure that students have what they need, and our department is very committed to developing and professional learning across the system. The goal is to develop teachers' capacity so that when we do that, they're able to serve all students in the best way. So we are very committed to that and well served to do that. Thank you.
Okay, sure.
Just one more.
Oh,
sorry. Through you, Chair, does that mean that you need more money? Inspector?
Well, certainly we would always use the money to the benefit of the students. So yes, we would always say that we could benefit from that.
Wonderful, thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, Trustee Alves.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you, I really wanted to take a moment to specifically acknowledge Superintendent Scaccato, who I know does a lot of work on this file. I'm at every SEAC committee meeting, and Superintendent Scaccato, along with staff, are there as well to deliver this great work, specifically the work that we're doing for VOC 1. And I want to thank you again for the meeting we had where we shared the Ottawa Carleton's Catholic District School Board's letter calling on the Ministry of Education for more funding before Minister Paul Calandra took his portfolio. And I certainly hope that that letter does fall on his desk and that the ministry will allow us a little bit more funding so we can continue the great work that we do. So I just wanted to thank you, Superintendent Scaccato. Thank you. I appreciate the report that's in front of us.
Through your chair, thank you very much, Trustee Alves.
Okay, Trustee and Trustee Benjamin is putting it on the floor. All those in favor? Carries. Thank you. All right, we're going to move down to our next one, which is the minutes from our governance and policy committee of March the 19th. Trustee Alv and Trustee Brad McDonald online. Question, concern? See none. All those in favor? Carries. Out of that, we got a couple motion. What I'm going to do, Trustee, I'm going to separate. I'm going to take 1, 2, and 3 together, and then I'm going to take number 4 separately because our governance officer will speak to this a little bit and also make a minor correction. Okay. So out of that meeting, we have these 3 motions. First, that the selection of architect policy, formerly policy 34, attached as appendix 1, be repealed. And that the parents' guidance and public inquiry policy, that the public concern policy, which is LG 406, formerly policy 85, attached as appendix 1, be repealed, and that the updated parents' guidance policy inquiry policy attached as appendix 2 be approved, and that the trustee amended honorary policy 2024-2025, and that this policy, that's it, appendix 3, be approved. Trustee Brad McDonald online, Trustee Bailey, okay. Question, concern? See none. All those in favor? Carries. Okay, so we'll go down to the next recommendation, which is recommendation 4, which is the amend to the trustee code of conduct. So I'm going to turn it over to our governance officer to speak to this and make a minor correction before we approve this one.
Thank you. Through the chair, I wanted to take a moment to highlight a few notable changes in the revised code of conduct, which is in front of you this evening. Most notably, changes include a trustee who has reasonable grounds to believe that a trustee has breached the code may now notify the following persons in writing. This includes the chair, vice chair, if it's related to the conduct of the chair, another trustee who is neither the complainant nor the subject if it relates to both the chair and vice chair, and a copy of that notice shall be provided to the director. Also, in terms of timelines, if the matter is not resolved informally within 20 business days, it shall be referred to the Integrity Commissioner. If the Integrity Commissioner determines, following an investigation, that a member has breached the code of conduct, they may choose to impose a sanction on the trustee. Another notable change is that the Act now requires that boards pay all fees charged by an Integrity Commissioner. The Minister of Education may also create a roster of Integrity Commissioners. The recommendation that we are seeking this evening is that the revised Trustee Code of Conduct attached as Appendix B be approved. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Anyone got any questions? I'm seeing none. Just to add to that before I ask for approval is that trustees need to be aware that, when this first came out and the director and I had our meeting with the ministry, there's a lot of responsibility now, whether myself or next chair or whoever is chair, there's a lot of load that is now passed on to the chair of the board. And also is the chair has the duty to ensure that the board integrity is upheld. And if as chair, I was told directly, if I know of trustees who are breaking code of conduct, I need to send an email and request a meeting with our governance officer or the vice chair to walk through that process. And if that matter continue, then I have a duty to make recommendation to the Integrity Commissioner to carry out an investigation. So the new code of conduct has placed a lot of burden on chairs of the board right across the province. So I will personally say I don't want to be a police for our colleagues, but I will not compromise any of the code of conduct for anyone whatsoever. And that's the reason why we were told that board need to ensure that they are selecting chair of the board that basically that can make strong and firm decision and ensure that the board integrity is upheld at all times. So just putting it out there to trustee understand that the minister before the previous minister would said there is no leeway. We will not tolerate any more misbehavior from trustees across the province. So with that said, yes, sure.
Thank you. Through you, Chair. The when you said the duty of the chair,
yeah,
I would also argue, would it be fair to say that all trustees have the same responsibility?
Same responsibility. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We need to hold each other accountable. Very much so. And that's one of the things that is outlined in this. Okay. So and also the process now is that whenever time the first thing, whenever time there's a code that is broken, it comes to the chair. And then if it, as I said, if it can't be resolved there, then it's the next thing is the Integrity Commissioner. And in the past, trustees would be the one that level and make recommendation or sanction or stuff like that. That is out of trustees' hand right now, the Integrity Commissioner. And that is done publicly at a public board meeting. Okay, so let us continue to hold our heads high. and ensure that we are doing justice for our students that we serve. So Trustee Cameron and Trustee Alves is putting in the floor for me. All those in favor? Carries. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to move down to item 11. I'm going to turn it over to Director this time. Engagement and Outreach Plan.
Thank you, and through you, Chair Green, I will now ask Associate Director Camille Logan to present the Community Engagement and Outreach Plan update.
Thank you, Director Swaroop, and through you, Chair Green. And I'd like to begin also just by thanking you, Chair Green, for the acknowledgement of my work and all of my efforts during this time in the Peel District School Board. It's been a great privilege and honor to serve the students, staff, and families during my time here at Pierce. So did want to take an opportunity to thank you and to thank all of the trustees. And through you, Chair Green, I will begin my final board report. Before you, the updated report on the Community Outreach Plan, originally approved in August of 2023. This plan was developed in response to Directive 10, which mandated the establishment of an outreach officer position with the Equity Office. This role, entitled Manager School Community Engagement, was tasked with designing and implementing an outreach strategy aimed at rebuilding and maintaining trust and credibility between the board and the broader community, with particular focus on Black communities. As outlined in this report, the Community Outreach Plan is closely aligned with the PDSB Equity Strategy, also introduced in 2023, as well as the Community Engagement Policy. Additionally, it supports our 4 key goals of the multi-year strategic plan, which emphasizes the critical role of community engagement and fostering meaningful relationships with diverse communities and stakeholders. I will now turn it over to Superintendent Althea Grant, Superintendent of Equity, Indigenous Education, and Community Engagement, to deliver the full report.
Thank you, Director Swaroop, Associate Director Dr. Logan, and through you, Chair Green. The purpose of this report is to update the board on the implementation of the Community Outreach Plan, to detail the work that has been undertaken by all staff in the Equity, Indigenous Education, and Community Engagement Department to action the Community Outreach Plan, and to show how the board is engaging with internal and external stakeholders to rebuild trust with the community, particularly Black, Indigenous, and marginalized communities. The plan stipulates that this outreach should be with affinity groups, issue-specific community groups, community roundtables, students associations, school councils, and general family and community engagement groups. With respect to engagement with Indigenous communities through sustained relationship building by the Indigenous Education team working with the Indigenous Education Council, these trust and relationships have had a positive impact on Indigenous students, staff, families, and community members, fostering cultural pride, community connections, and student well-being, while strengthening community bonds and enhancing students' sense of belonging and resilience. Feedback from participants highlight the importance of community and cultural connections in shaping board policies related to Indigenous education. In terms of engagement with Black students, families, and the community, the Equity Department has centered outreach and engagement initiatives with Black Students Associations, Black Parents Associations, and students and family advocates, known as SFAs. The creation of Black Parents Association at all levels of the Peel District School Board's organization has fostered meaningful partnerships between Black families, schools, and the broader education system, enhancing engagement and advocacy for Black students. The Central Black Parents Association, which meets once per month, have voiced the importance of continued focus on Black parent engagement, on the well-being and academics of Black students. Of specific importance is ensuring a culturally responsive curriculum, that Black students are achieving in their core academic skills, that there are leadership opportunities, and that we're fostering an appreciation of Black history beyond February. BPAs have provided a platform for Black parents to share insights, collaborate on initiatives, and therefore contribute to the academic success and well-being of Black students. The board has deep and trusting relationships with SFAs. The SFA program has significantly impacted the community by enhancing the understanding of anti-Black racism among administrators, educators, staff, and improving relationships between families and the school. Families have reported, and that's families who are being supported by SFAs, have reported feeling more supported and aware of available resources. To improve future community engagement, the PDSB and SFAs are committed to increasing outreach efforts to involve more parents and caregivers and providing more tailored workshops and programs that address specific community needs. Additionally, fostering stronger partnerships with local agencies and creating more leadership opportunities for students can further enhance the program's effectiveness. With respect to affinity groups and students associations, such as Black, Muslim, Jewish, Hindu, Palestinian, Sikh students associations, as well as gay-straight alliances, the board is providing safe spaces for cultural celebration, identity affirmations, and advocacy. Through ongoing dialogue, two-way communication, and meaningful engagement, these initiatives ensure that student voices are heard, valued, and reflected in school policies and practices. The success of events such as the Muslim Youth Leadership Conference, Solidarity Week at Monjading Wingashgang, Shanika Celebration, and Langer Day underscores the importance of culturally responsive outreach in fostering belonging, empowerment, and positive academic outcomes for students. With respect to the Parent Involvement Committee, in collaboration with the Equity Department, successfully engaged school council members through the Great Start event, emphasizing collaboration and shared decision-making. 90% of the participants rated the event as excellent or good. It's also important to note that through the collaboration and the collaborative effort between PIC and the Equity Department this year, the largest number of schools in the history of the board have applied for the Parent Reaching Out grant, and that is to lead projects in our schools that address parent needs and remove barriers that prevent parents from participating fully in the learning of their children, and this is through an equity and inclusion framework. Some of these ongoing events include workshops on literacy, numeracy, the new curriculum, EQO preparation, combating discrimination, mental health and wellness, food sovereignty, environmental stewardship, experiential learning, STEM, and cyber safety. So we're actioning our commitment to open communication and transparency in our efforts to consult, report back, and co-develop solutions with diverse community stakeholders. Our outreach with community planning tables, issue-specific tables, community agencies, and not-for-profits is deepening trust and relationships with diverse communities. We're also identifying community needs while addressing issues of discrimination and enhancing awareness of student and community assets and opportunities within schools and communities while promoting student safety and well-being. And this is certainly in alignment with the multi-year strategic plan. The continued implementation of the community outreach plan ensures that diverse voices and marginalized voices are not only heard, but are also shaping the future of education in the Peel District School Board. There is a lot more work to be done. We look forward to the continued implementation of the community outreach plan to create the conditions for student achievement and well-being. I'm happy to take any questions. Thank you.
Yes, so, sorry about that. Trustee McDonald, Trustee Promoli is putting them on the floor. Question or concerns? Okay, all right. Trustee McDonald.
Thank you. Through you, Chair. So I have a couple of questions. First thing on page 2, on the highlight, it says particularly Black Indigenous. Is there a comma between it? Or is it Black and Indigenous? Or do you only mean to refer Black Indigenous peoples?
So is that page 2? So that would be a comma, Black and Indigenous. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, and thank you for that question, Trustee McDonald.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. The on the IEAC, the Indigenous Education Advisory Circle, in terms of the membership of that committee, is there, and you mentioned like communities, I was just wondering if our student trustee Austin is on that part of that.
Thank you for that question, Trustee McDonald. Through you, Chair Green, that would be yes.
Okay, thank you very much for that. And the engagement with Black students and families, so the board's central BPA, what is the makeup of that committee?
Thank you for that question, Trustee McDonald. Through you, Chair Green. So the central BPA was set up last year, and it is made up of Black parents who represent the 13 family of schools in the board. So each represent a family of school, a superintendent's family of school in the board.
Okay, so do we have any staff members on that committee too, or?
So the staff members would be the staff members from the equity department that supports that work.
Okay, thank you very much. And if you have Black student trustees, will they be invited, or Black trustees will be invited to this?
Thank you for that question, Trustee. That's a great idea. We certainly would look into that.
Okay, thank you very much. And so you mentioned you have SFAs, and you list a bunch of SFAs there. But I just wonder if it was an error, or if you could help me understand how or who got selected, because to me, shockingly absent are Peel advocacy groups that were instrumental in the government taking over their board. And I think it would be prudent for us to be working with people that have context, the history, and what has, and understand the advocacy piece. So just wondering. And I also noticed that the We Rise Together committee is not listed here. So just wondering.
Thank you for that question, Trustee McDonald. I will defer to Associate Director Dr. Logan. When I started in this role in September, these were the established 6 SFAs with funding from the government that was working through our school community engagement specialists to support families, and they provided various different supports. So I certainly will defer to Associate Director Dr. Logan.
Thank you.
To you, Chair Green, and thank you for the question, Trustee McDonald. And just to add to what Superintendent Grant indicated, the student family advocates are the ones that are specifically identified from the Ministry of Education. And so there is, I don't know all the details, but there is an application process that particular organizations who wish to be part of the SFAs, and each, I would say, region has their own group of SFAs that are specific to the ministry and who they've identified. And so the ones that we listed as SFAs are the ones specific from the ministry, but we engage with all different kinds of community organizations. But we just specifically wanted to reference the SFAs because of the connection with the ministry and their expectation to work with school boards.
Okay, thank you for that. And through your chair, under the engagement with PDSB, Sikh and Punjabi communities, I was looking at different, the SSA and Punjabi mom. I was just wondering, because I'm aware that you have the Sikh motorcycle club, that they make great role models and they're doing work in some of our schools. I was just wondering if there has been any outreach to that community group.
Thank you for that suggestion, Trustee McDonald. We'll certainly look into this. There are a lot of programs, like our schools are, this report was really in response to just giving an update on the community engagement plan, but it doesn't really include the plethora of engagement that many of our schools are engaged in. So thank you for pointing that out, and I will look into it.
Okay, thank you. And when you list different groups, I was just wondering if there was any thought to having an engagement with the Palestinian community, student, staff, and parent communities.
That is a great question. We do have, that's not listed here, but we do have very much engagement with Palestinian families and students. Just recently, the Monjinding Wingashkan Center hosted a solidarity event for Palestinian students, and it was very well attended. And I personally meet with Palestinian families. So thank you.
Okay. And I have just two other quick questions. In terms of, in the package that we got, included in it was a community outreach plan, the first one that came to us August 23rd, 2023. And when I look at next steps, so it was saying beginning to implement the community outreach plan, September 23. So collect data to inform key performance indicators. I'm just wondering, where are we in terms of the data collection?
That is a very great question. And we were able to, we have just started. I have to say we've started every time we have an event to ensure that we collect data because we want to improve our events. And so that's how we were able to report around the parent involvement event, because we are able to ask families, what can we do better? And so we now have a standard survey for families who participate and in our community engagement events so that we can continue to do better.
Okay, thank you.
So Trustee McDonald, just before you go forward, I've been very lenient this evening, but I'm just asking trustees to be mindful that we have a 5 minutes question for each trustee. So please be mindful of that. All right? So, but go ahead because I don't see a lot of hands going up, but I'm just asking trustee to be mindful.
Okay, thank you for that. And under the actions required to, you have update to the board May to June 2024. And in preparation for this meeting, I couldn't find an update to the June 2024. So what, did we get an update in June 2024?
So I will have to, thank you for that question, Trustee McDonald. I will have to defer to Associate Director Dr. Logan. I was not in this role in 2024, June.
So through you, Chair, and to your question, Trustee McDonald, we had not completed a report, and so it was deferred until this time.
Okay, thank you. And my last question is, when I read through the plan, I know that we have the role of the community engagement manager. I'm just wondering, what is the role in this plan? So is it only your, yeah, just trying to figure out the role and the outreach that goes to the community.
Thank you for that question. The community, the manager of community engagement sits on many, many tables across the board and also really is building relationships between the community tables and schools as well as centrally as well.
Okay, thank you very much. No further questions.
Okay, all right, thank you. I don't see any other question. It's already on the floor. All those in favor of the report? Approved. Thank you. I'm back over to you, Director.
Thank you. Through you, Chair Green, I will now ask Associate Director Harjeet Aujla to present the MYSP Report 7.1.
Thank you very much, Director Swaroop, and through you, Chair Green, I'm pleased to introduce the multi-year strategic plan progress report, curriculum and school improvement. This year, significant. Should I turn my microphone off?
Go ahead.
This year, significant strides have been made in fostering student agency, addressing inequities, and preparing learners for diverse pathways. Highlights include the successful Youth in Action event, the expansion of our outdoor education offerings, and numerous professional development opportunities for educators. Families have also been engaged through virtual sessions and celebrated the 20th anniversary of the Peel Dance Showcase. As we move forward, the Peel District School Board's Curriculum and School Improvement Department remains committed to integrating multi-year strategic plan aligned practices, evaluating our initiatives, and ensuring transparency and accountability in meeting our goals and serving staff, students, and community. I would now like to invite Superintendent of Curriculum and School Improvement, Laura Shabaro, to please share the report.
Thank you, Associate Director Ajla, and through you, Chair Green. Good evening, everyone. I am pleased to share with you the March Progress Report outlining ongoing work by the Curriculum and School Improvement Department that directly address goal number 1 in support of student achievement, as stated in the board's multi-year strategic plan. Even though the ongoing actions that will be shared with you this evening specifically address goal number 1, we know that their impact will transfer to the other areas and the other 3 goals within the plan. The Curriculum and School Improvement Department is committed to advancing the goals of this plan by fostering equitable, innovative, and inclusive teaching and learning environments. By providing specific support for students, staff, and families, our department will prioritize academic excellence, well-being, and creativity, ensuring that all students, specifically those who continue to experience disproportionate outcomes, are supported and prepared so they can thrive in their educational pathways and future careers. Please feel free to follow along with the slideshow as we share the work in support of students, staff, and families across PDSB. On December 4th, the Curriculum Department hosted the Youth in Action event, which took place at the Living Arts Center in Mississauga. This event is intended to promote rewarding career paths through the Specialist High Skills Major, SHSM. The event was attended by well over 1,200 students, along with representatives from the Toronto Argos, industry leaders, emergency services, and post-secondary institutions. Students explored and gained knowledge about 23 certification opportunities, including project management, design thinking, special effects makeup, screen printing, dance, music, mixed media, customer service training, portfolio development, wrapping and taping, as well as GPS training. The purpose of this conference is not only to promote a variety of different career paths, but to also support students currently enrolled in the SHSM programs in earning their Red Seal certification. This event brought in industry partners and community specialists together in one location to deliver required training sessions for students, putting them a step ahead for their certification. It is important to note that PDSB offers students a wide range of SHSM programs across many of our secondary schools. These programs are innovative, aligned with industry standards, and prepare students for future pathways. We are currently supporting a number of these programs in our schools that include aerospace and aviation, arts and culture, hospitality and tourism, information technology, manufacturing, robotics, engineering, sports and wellness, as well as transportation. In addition, the Peel District School Board is the only board in Ontario to offer the Explore High Skills EHSS programs, a unique pre-SHSM initiative designed for grade 9 and grade 10 students. This program has received high praise from the Ministry of Education's Skills Development and Apprenticeship branch for its innovative approaches and impact. The Curriculum Department, in collaboration with our outdoor education team, continue to expand our offerings to students and staff throughout PDSB. We are thrilled to announce that beginning September 2025, the Britannia Farm and Schoolhouse will become our new experiential learning hub dedicated to sustainability education for schools. It serves as an attestation to the dedicated work that we'll be doing as a school board in response to our declaration that we are in a climate emergency. This initiative is also a testament to our commitment to the core values of sustainability and stewardship outlined in our multi-year strategic plan. To support this exciting expansion, we will be introducing portable classrooms and increasing our staff to deliver these specialized programs that focus on mental health, sustainability education, as well as topics that include urban farming, as well as gardens and food sovereignty. Additionally, we are launching a new program that leverages the outdoors to help our youngest learners develop self-regulation skills. This program will also provide professional development for early year educators on risk mitigation and documentation of outdoor strategies. These enhancements will significantly bolster the current programming at the Jack Smythe and GW Finlayson Field Centers, offering students hands-on learning experiences that deepen their understanding of environmental stewardship and well-being. We look forward to fostering a greater appreciation for sustainability and mental health through these innovative educational opportunities. The theme for our Black History Month this year for 2025 is From Ancestry to Destiny, Embracing Our Futures Through Knowledge, Unity, and Love. In alignment with this theme, we celebrated learning that focused on the contemporary and historical contributions of African, Black, and Afro-Caribbean individuals in Canada, Africa, and throughout the African diaspora. We had 365 grades 3 to grade 5 teams participate and 132 grade 6 to grade 8 teams participate. This year, we've included a special component. Superintendents from across PDSE have been invited to study the Ukulele calendar and compete in their own Ukulele Knowledge Quest Challenge in April. The Curriculum and School Improvement Department, partnering up with Con Ed, supports learners from ages 3 to 84. As part of our work, we are expanding the courses offered through our adult education programs. The vision of these programs is to empower learners of all ages, abilities, and backgrounds by providing diverse opportunities to acquire new knowledge, explore exciting career pathways, develop invaluable skills, and achieve their personal learning goals, as well as completing their OSSD. Our goal is to inspire learners to pursue a variety of post-secondary opportunities by making their educational journey more accessible. For staff, the Curriculum Department is dedicated to promoting student achievement by fostering a culture of high expectations and providing ongoing professional learning opportunities for staff. This initiative helps ensure that staff remain responsive to the needs of a culturally diverse and ever-changing world. On March 6th, the Curriculum Department, led by the Bath team and in collaboration with Special Ed, the Special Education and Equity and the Leadership Departments, we hosted a professional learning day for all 32 secondary schools. This event hosted over 150 educators, as well as the provincial EQAO team responsible for creating the assessment. Everybody came together in support of math achievement in the PDSB. Teachers from every secondary school attended, learning in support of grade 9 and grade 10 math programs. Our goal was to bolster the learning and the opportunities around math achievement in all of our schools. This day was made possible due to the support and the collaboration of the central departments engaged in supporting math achievement. The Curriculum Department is also supporting our focus on continued work and growth in terms of educator capacity. We are dedicated to supporting educator professional growth and development. This year, we continue to offer additional qualification courses, and we are now at 22 courses offered to teachers from not only Peel District School Board, but as well as across Ontario. Enrollment numbers are strong, and we are experiencing consistent growth in participation, reflecting the value of these professional learning opportunities. We uphold a culture of high expectations for all of our educators, and we remain responsive to our learning. We believe that effective, responsive teaching remains critical to student success in our diverse and evolving world. The department also continues to support teacher practice with tools and resources. We continue to build the content of 2 digital tools that support teachers in delivering language and math instructional programming across PDSB. These 2 tools act as clear instructional roadmaps, helping ensure consistency and alignment in how literacy and math is taught across all classrooms in the district. During a visit by our education officers from the Ministry of Education Math Achievement Branch, they witnessed the work that we are doing in our classrooms using the Scope and Sequence math tool. The education officers visited a few of our PDSB classrooms and commented on the consistency in instruction across classrooms and across schools. The team also observed how Peel educators effectively teach math curriculum while focusing on students' identities, strengths, and learning goals using a personalized approach. For families and community, on Thursday, March 6th, the Peel District School Board celebrated the 20th anniversary of the Peel Dance Showcase. This celebration of dance had over 430 students perform from over 20 schools from both elementary and secondary panels. On stage, students displayed varying dance pieces showcasing the diversity in Peel through various dance styles, as well as the pieces that showcased important social justice issues. The evening brought energy and excitement to the students, and they were able to showcase these pieces they created through creative processes for over 1,300 families and friends. The curriculum department also committed to advancing achievement and deepening understanding across and access to pathways for all of our families. This year, the department hosted 2 virtual parent registration events for families with children starting kindergarten in September 2025. These 2 sessions provided families with valuable insights into the kindergarten program. It included transportation options and local childcare resources. These 2 events were very well attended and were supported through different departments across the PDSB. For families and children in kindergarten to grade 5, the department continues to offer Read, Count, Soar. This is a virtual session designed to help families support literacy and math development at home. Participants learn how to nurture oral language through daily conversations. These opportunities also include math activities as well as French. We look forward to continuing this important work in support of the multi-year strategic plan. We also look forward to collaborating with central departments, schools, staff, and families to ensure that all students thrive in the learning environments throughout Peel while achieving academic excellence. We will continue to provide updates to the board in support of this plan. Thank you for your continued support. Happy to respond to any questions at this time.
Thank you, Superintendents. I'm going to ask Trustee Clark and Trustee Cameron to put it on the floor for me. Question or concerns? Okay, Trustee McDonald.
Thank you. Through you, Chair, I just have 3 quick questions. You mentioned, Superintendent Shabaro, that the 22 AQ courses, I just want to do, and then other people also, I guess external people enroll in them. The staff, do we charge them for that? Is that a revenue for us, or how does that work?
Thank you for that question, and through you, Chair Green. The courses are open to staff and educators outside of PDSB. I don't know how many have actually taken the course from outside of PDSB at this point, but it is offered outside of PDSB. We are charging some as recommended through universities and colleges, so it aligns with the cost of what is offered through universities. Some of the courses are subsidized through ministry funding.
Okay, thank you for that. And you mentioned the name of a math tool. Sorry, and I missed it. Do you remember the name of the math tool?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Do you remember the name of the math tool that you mentioned?
Okay, thank you for that question, and through you, Chair Green. It is the Scope and Sequence math tool, and this is a Peel District School Board created digital tool.
Okay, thank you for that. And you mentioned Read, Count, Soar, a virtual resource. How do families know about this?
Thank you for that question, and through you, Chair Green. It is advertised on our public forward-facing part of the site. It is also through our parent communication, and we do advertise through our schools as well. So many of our principals and vice principals are also sharing it through school councils.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for the report. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay, see no other hands up. All those in favor of the report? Carries. Thank you. Back over to you, Director.
Thank you, and through you, Chair Green, I will now ask Chief Operating Officer and Associate Director Jaspal Gill to present the MYSB Progress Report 7.2.
Thank you, Director Swoop, and through you, Chair Green. This report provides an update on the construction of new schools and sports facility field amenities between years 2024 and 2028. Construction of new schools and new sports field amenities provide the necessary infrastructure for students, staff, and the community to engage in achieving the board's multi-year strategic plan goals of student achievement, safety and well-being, equity and inclusion, and community engagement. These facilities also support the multi-year strategic plan's core value of positivity while creating a supportive and nurturing environment where students feel confident to strive for excellence. In addition, schools often serve as community hubs in the neighborhood in which they are located. Our new schools include childcare centers, before and after school programs, and opportunities for after-hour use by various community groups. I will now turn over to Controller Thomas to deliver the full report.
Thank you, Associate Director Gill, and through you, Chair Green, good evening to all. I am pleased to present the multi-year strategic plan progress report from the Planning and Accommodation Support Services Department. This report provides an update on the construction of new schools and new shared use sports facilities and amenities that have been and will be constructed between the years 2024 and 2028. And as Associate Director Gill has already stated, the construction of new schools and new shared use sports facilities and amenities supports all of the goals of the multi-year strategic plan, as they provide the necessary infrastructure through which our students and staff can engage in the teaching and learning activities of the PDSB that will allow them to achieve these objectives. The new PDSB schools often do serve as community hubs, and as such, they are great places for communities to come together, often through having amenities such as childcare centers and opportunities for permitted after-hours use by various community groups. Unquestionably, anytime brand new infrastructure can be built, it supports the multi-year strategic plan's core value of positivity. New construction elicits a sense of pride in the school community, as the new school, field, or other amenity is a visible sign of PDSB's commitment to ensuring that our schools are modern, state-of-the-art facilities. And this new infrastructure can also serve as an important tool for the PDSB to attract and retain students, especially during the transition from elementary to secondary school. The report includes information about the processes by which the PDSB conducts capital planning for the future through enrollment projections, updates on future municipal development growth, recommendations for new schools and boundary changes, among other details. The planning team summarizes all of this information in the annual planning document, which is presented to the Physical Planning, Finance, and Building Committee, and which is also available on the board's public website. The PDSB acknowledges the capital funding support of the Ministry of Education to build new schools through the Capital Priorities Program to support our students, staff, and communities. The report also includes information about the work done by our planning and accommodation staff to explore opportunities to construct upgraded artificial turf fields, synthetic tracks, and other amenities through partnership arrangements with municipalities and other entities to enhance opportunities for our students, staff, and communities to thrive. These agreements are the products of ongoing discussions with the municipalities in Peel Region, as well as private entities. And these partnerships are important in supporting the construction of these amenities because of their financial contribution, without which the PDSB would often not be able to undertake these projects. We were absolutely thrilled to learn earlier this year that the Ministry of Education approved funding for our new Mount Pleasant Secondary School in North Brampton, the first new secondary school for PDSB in several years. A list of all of the new schools and partnerships is contained in the report. I would also note that I'm joined this evening here in the boardroom by some members of the planning and accommodation team who have been instrumental in supporting these initiatives. Please enjoy the following video that will be broadcast that showcases some of the projects outlined in this report.
Malala Yousafzai Public School is a shining example of modern education in Brampton's Fletcher's Meadow community. Opened in September 2024, this kindergarten to grade 8 school offers space for 850 students and includes a dedicated childcare center. Designed to inspire learning, inclusion, and community engagement, Malala Yousafzai is more than just a school. It's a place where young minds grow, innovate, and build a brighter future. Red Cedar Public School will be the next addition to the Fletcher's Meadow family of schools. Opening this September with space for 850 kindergarten to grade 8 students and a childcare center, this school is designed to nurture young minds and foster a strong, inclusive community where learning and growth go hand in hand. A new era begins at Caledon East Public School as part of the Humberview family of schools. Opening in 2026, this state-of-the-art facility will welcome 650 kindergarten to grade 8 students and host a child care center. Built for the future, this school will be a hub for learning, creativity, and community connection for years to come. Ellendale Public School replacement is going to be a brand new modern learning space in Mississauga's Woodlands family of schools. With a capacity for 882 students, this kindergarten to grade 8 school will also include a child care center. Scheduled to open in 2027, this will be a place where students thrive in an innovative and inclusive environment. Inspired by the design of Malala Yousafzai Public School, Mayfield West 2 will also host a child care center and provide 850 kindergarten to grade 8 students with a dynamic learning experience in Caledon. Opening in 2027, this school will be a foundation for excellence, empowering students to grow, achieve, and shape their future. Mount Pleasant Secondary School will set a new standard for education in Brampton. With space for 1,660 students, this future-ready high school will open in 2028, fostering academic excellence, innovation, and a strong sense of community for generations to come. At the Peel District School Board, we are committed to building more than classrooms. We create spaces that inspire and support students in all aspects of their education. By leveraging strategic joint ventures, we have successfully developed premium artificial sports fields, running tracks, and sports domes, offering students exceptional athletic facilities that encourage physical activity and foster school spirit. In addition to these accomplishments, we are proud to highlight a historic milestone, as in 2024 we partnered with the City of Brampton to launch our first joint youth cricket project at Turner Fenton Secondary School. This new cricket pitch will serve as a dynamic community hub, providing students and local athletes with the opportunity to engage in the region's fastest-growing sport. The Collaborative Learning and Technology Center at Central Peel Secondary School in Brampton is a state-of-the-art facility dedicated to science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, commonly referred to as STEAM education. Opened in March 2024, the CLTC is the result of a partnership between the Peel District School Board and the City of Brampton, transforming an existing building into a hub for innovation and learning. And the recent improvements at Mayfield Secondary School have elevated these facilities to a new level, allowing the school to now host full off-the-track and field events. Thank you for joining us for this brief highlight of the exciting projects we're working on. We look forward to continuing to build spaces that inspire learning, growth, and community engagement.
Thank you. I'd be pleased to take any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and through you, sir. So to start, this is amazing. I love everything that I'm seeing today, and of special note to me is a really specific update when it comes to partnerships and municipalities, because there's an update here that I was first made aware of when celebrating my engagement last year overseas. I got a call from Mayor Carolyn Parrish, who was very excited to talk to me about Glen Forest Secondary School. And I see here that the partnership with the City of Mississauga is moving forward for a new community hub. I'm under the impression that it's similar to the Malton Community Hub. Can staff tell me a little bit more about that and where we are with the project?
Thank you for the question, Trustee Elves, and through you, Chair Green. Yes, the concept of the hub is quite similar to the one that's been built in Malton. There was a pool at Glen Forest. That pool has now been demolished, and the work to construct the new hub is being led by the City of Mississauga. So we're working with them to establish the timelines for the construction. And as we receive more information, we'll certainly share that with you.
Back over to you, Director.
Thank you, and through you, Chair Green. I would now ask Associate Director Paul De Silva to present the multi-year strategic plan in action oral reports.
Thank you, Director Swerwood, and through you, Chair Green. As shared in previous meetings, the multi-year strategic plan, MYSP, co-created with the Board of Trustees and staff, continues to serve as our North Star in driving the work of Peel District School Board forward. Grounded in our 4 key pillars, student achievement, safety and well-being, equity and inclusion, and community engagement, the MYSP is woven into the everyday experiences of our schools and classrooms, ensuring that every student is supported, challenged, and inspired. While we acknowledge and celebrate the meaningful work already underway across the system, we are committed to taking a few moments at each board meeting to spotlight specific examples of initiatives that reflect our strategic priorities. Each month, one of the 13 field superintendents will share a brief update that captures the energy, innovation, and dedication happening in their respective areas. With that, I'm pleased to turn it over to Superintendent Ozma Massoud from Area 12 and Superintendent Kervin White from Area 9 to share highlights from their school communities.
Thank you, AD De Silva, and through you, Chair Green. Tonight, I am delighted to present how the Peel District School Board's multi-year strategic plan is being realized through the outstanding work and achievements within Area 12, encompassing North Park, Chinguacousy, and Central Peel families of schools. The MYSP comes to life in our schools, reflected in the diverse successes of our students, staff, and broader community. This evening, I will highlight key accomplishments that exemplify this alignment. Advancing student achievement through agency and staff capacity. One of the core objectives of our strategic plan is fostering student achievement and strengthening staff capacity. 2 schools that have exemplified these efforts are Madoc Drive Public School and Sir Winston Churchill Public School. Despite their small size, both schools have demonstrated remarkable progress under the dedicated leadership of their school teams. Their commitment to professional learning communities, instructional walkthroughs, and tiered interventions have driven measurable improvements in student achievement. At Madoc, student performance in reading, writing, and mathematics has improved significantly. At Sir Winston Churchill, students have shown significant gains in writing and mathematics. These achievements are rooted in the school's deep implementation of structured literacy using UFly, the scope and sequence that was mentioned earlier, Acadience assessments, and the EQAO math pilot project. Their successes are attributed to distributed leadership and shared accountability, with the use of diagnostic assessments and data to drive instructional decisions. I would also like to acknowledge the effort of some exceptional educators and leaders that have been pivotal. So at Sir Winston Churchill, teachers Mavi, Minoz, Swanson, Diol, and Grant have greatly contributed to this curriculum implementation. At Madoc, educators like Ross, Sternum, Bailey, Marlin, Walker, White, and Carr have played a significant role in supporting student success. I also extend my appreciation to the curriculum department and the exceptional resource teachers for their expertise in mathematics and language instruction. I'd like to move on to the Innovation Hub, which was also just featured before you. Another example of the MYSP in action is the Learning Hub at Central Peel Secondary School. Alongside of some amazing things such as NASA, the robotics championships, and other things that run through the hub, I'd like to focus on an innovative multi-credit accumulation program integrating applied literacy, numeracy, and experiential learning. Under Principal Laura Gardner at VP Highgate and Nixon, and with the support of the Innovation and Research Department, along with the Director's Office, the interdisciplinary head position was launched in September 2024 to design and dream in our new Innovation Hub. Each semester, this hub serves 27 students in period 1 and 2 and is led by leaders Dan Lessa and Mabin Maroney, who guide students in building computers, designing software, and applying problem-solving skills by offering intensive support structures alongside agency-driven learning pathways. Students who previously faced barriers to success are now striving. One student shared, and I quote, "Many of us in these classes could have been considered undesirables. Some of us have had some troubles. Others of us struggle academically. But here we're not judged. The teachers understand who we are and remind us that despite our past actions or struggles, we are just kids on a complicated path. Thanks, Maroney and Lessa. You know how to make an impact." End quote. The next thing that I'd like to highlight, the PDSB is committed to student well-being and engagement well beyond the classroom, and I would like to reintroduce to the board a volunteer organization with a long-standing legacy of excellence in extracurricular athletics. NAFIA and SPESFIA, the North and South Peel Elementary Schools Physical Health Education Associations, provide over 35,000 students across 63 schools in Peel with access to middle school athletic opportunities. With the dedication of 2,000 volunteer coaches, students participate in year-round calendar of competitive and non-competitive sports. These efforts are showcased most dominantly in two major events: the cross-country meet in the fall with over 2,100 participants and the track and field competition in the spring with as many as 2,500 athletes competing. These programs play a key role in enhancing student retention, well-being, mental health, belonging, and school connectedness. And finally, community engagement is also thriving in Area 12 through the month of March through our Iftar community events, which are open to all community members at North Park, Chinguacousy, and Central Peel, as well as some of our feeder schools. Additionally, the free-for-all food programs continue to provide essential support to our students and families in Area 12. And we also benefit greatly from a number of Sheridan College student placements who serve our children with care and dedication. And another right now noteworthy initiative is Williams Parkway's IBT student-led entrepreneurial project at the One of a Kind show at the Toronto Intercare Centre, which begins tonight and runs until Sunday. Students in grade 8 have designed and developed business projects with proceeds supporting the school's breakfast program. This initiative embodies experiential learning, social responsibility, and student agency in action. I believe the director's office will visit these entrepreneurs on Friday, and I plan to see them on Saturday, so please check them out if you can. These successes highlighted tonight reflect the tangible impact of the multi-year strategic plan in Area 12, generously supported by our 3 trustees. Through academic excellence, innovative programming, and strong community partnerships, Area 12 and the Peel District School Board continue to create an environment where all students feel valued, supported, and empowered to succeed. Thank you for the opportunity to share the stories of achievement and collaboration in Area 12, and I'd like to turn the mic over to my esteemed colleague, SOE White, to highlight Area 9.
Thank you, Superintendent Masood and Associate Director De Silva, and through you, Chair Green. Area 9 has embarked on a transformative journey to action the goals of the multi-year strategic plan, focusing on social-emotional learning and innovation to address the needs of historically and currently marginalized and underserved students. With the integration of Science Technology Application Centers, STACs, a cooking lab, and inception of a social-emotional learning innovation hub, we are creating equitable and inclusive learning environments, expanding learning beyond the classroom, and preparing students for future careers and social-emotional success. These initiatives build on the work that began in Area 11 last year. The stacks serve as hubs of innovation and learning where theoretical concepts meet practical application and curiosity leads to discovery. These centers provide an environment where learning is dynamic, interactive, and fun. Here, students are not limited by textbooks. They engage directly with the tools and technologies that define modern STEM fields. We have partnered with Judith Nyman Secondary School, Skills Trade Canada, and 4 elementary schools in Area 9, Sir Isaac Brock, Private Buckham Singh, Castle Oaks, and Walnut Grove that have science technology application centers. Students visit Judith Nyman Secondary School and spend 2 full days immersed with hands-on learning opportunities connected to skilled trades where abstract STEM concepts become engaging. Here, they gain practical experiences with math, problem solving, collaboration, and communication through wall construction, including framing, electrical, and plumbing. This partnership demonstrates how collaborative efforts can enhance educational opportunities for students. To showcase the students' accomplishments and recognize the integral role caregivers play in their learning, we also plan to invite caregivers and community members from all 4 schools to view their final projects in May at Judith Nyman Secondary School. Extending learning beyond the stacked classrooms, students will experience a learning excursion to Humber Polytechnic on April 10th, where they will explore engineering and design through programs and tools like Tinkercards and Spiros, and experience spaces like the Mechanical Engineering Lab. Our EdTech Innovation Resource Teacher has been instrumental with these initiatives. At Castle Oaks Public School, the Cooking Lab and Social Emotional Learning Innovation Hub are integral components of an educational approach designed to equip students with essential life skills and foster a sense of community, commitment to restorative interactions, and environmental stewardship. The inception of the Castle Oaks Cooking Lab came from the Leading Innovation Education Project grants with the intention of creating an alternative learning environment which is safe and inclusive and reflects diverse identities, perspectives, and intersectional experiences. The Cooking Lab leverages students' strengths, affinities to support student-centered learning. It provides students with hands-on experiences in planning, designing, and preparing meals that incorporate their own flavors, cultures, and preferences. Even more so, this learning environment provides students with opportunities to engage in interactions that promote relationship building, relationship healing, and overall social harm reduction. The Castle Oaks Outdoor Organic Garden and Indoor Grow Tower serve as a living classroom where students can observe and participate in the cultivation of various vegetables and herbs. The Cooking Lab integrates Indigenous sovereignty, African diasporic perspectives, histories, contributions, and community knowledge. By incorporating these elements into the curriculum, the school aims to dismantle oppressive structures and ensure multiple means of engagement, representation, and expression. Castle Oaks Public School is committed to fostering an inclusive learning environment that values and celebrates diverse cultural perspectives while providing all students wraparound anti-colonial experiences. Through the creation of a social emotional learning innovation hub, interdisciplinary approaches are used to support student mental, social, and academic flourishing. The Innovation Hub provides students with opportunities for affinity-based learning, student agency and ownership over their experiences. In the Innovation Hub, educators are learners alongside students. Reflective approaches are modeled and practiced, allowing students to develop the strategies necessary to monitor and improve their wellness, engage in restorative interactions, and demonstrate their strengths in identity-affirming ways. Technology in the hub becomes a tool. Virtual reality headsets, podcast equipment, coding technologies are tools for creativity, problem solving, and relationship building. In conclusion, the integration of science technology application centers, Cooking Lab, and Social Emotional Learning Innovation Hub in Area 9 presents transformative, diverse, and engaging ways for students who have been historically and currently marginalized and underserved to experience learning, fostering both academic and personal growth. By providing access to cutting-edge technology, hands-on experiences, and emotional support, these initiatives empower students to explore their interests, develop essential skills, and ultimately contribute to a more inclusive and equitable educational environment. Thank you, and I'm happy to take any questions.
Trustee Johal and Trustee Promoli is putting this on the floor for me. Question, concerns? Trustee Benjamin.
Thank you, and through you, Chair, I'd like to congratulate you for all the information that you have given us and all the wonderful things that are happening. It's not a question, it's more like I want some information on what you mean when you say areas, because we always talk a family of schools, and this is something new. So how many areas do we have in the PDSB? Can you provide this, the trustees with a list of areas, the schools that come in, et cetera, all that information? It's new to me. Thank you.
Okay. I'll ask Associate Director De Silva to answer that question.
Thank you for the question, Trustee Benjamin, and through you, Chair Green. I'm happy to provide you with the question and the list. Really, what we're trying to do is identify the family of schools by superintendent, and would happy to provide you with the superintendent's name and with all the areas or quadrants or schools and family schools that belong to each one of those superintendents. So happy to do that for you.
So thank you for that. So Trustee Benjamin, please reach out to Associate Director De Silva, and he will provide you with the list. Again, thank you for that report. And okay, Trustee McDonald, I didn't see that. Go ahead.
I just want to know if all trustees could provide it with the list, please.
Okay, all right. So she's asking if Associate Director De Silva, you could send that to all trustees. Okay, you can pass it on to the trustee assistant, and she will get it out to everyone. All right, thank you. And just to say, especially to Superintendent Masood, thank you for the work in the area. I got 4 of my students at MADAC and 2 at HF, and they were supposed to serve only for half of the year, and they're there for the full year because they didn't want to leave. They were so engaged with the students, so that tells me that great things are happening. And to the 68 Black student we supported Sir Winston on a weekly basis, I see the impact, I see the work, because my staff do bring me the reports and student testimony, so it's helped. And even the principal comments how much it has helped to improve student outcomes. And I want to just assure you that we will continue to support those schools so that students can continue to achieve. Thank you very much. Okay. Trustee Johal.
Thank you, Chair Green. And through you, I just want to thank SOE Karen White for the wonderful report and for the wonderful work under your leadership our school, our staff, and students are doing. So I just thank you for that. Thank you for everything. Wonderful.
All those in favor of the report? Carries. Thank you. Okay. I got no communications. I got no trustee motions for consideration. I got no notice of motion. Trustee B. McDonald, Trustee Davey, putting adoption of the closed session report on the table for me. All those in favor? Carries. Okay. All right. We're going to go down to Peel success stories before adjournment. So take it away.
Peel District School Board's multi-year strategic plan for 2024 to 2028 identifies the most important priorities for the board, as well as the actions necessary to accomplish these goals. These goals are all interconnected, and when we collaborate on achieving them, we will be more successful in fulfilling our purpose, which is to promote student success through inclusion, innovation, and empowerment.
Women and girls around the world are also still dealing with barriers and biases in certain industries, particularly science, technology, engineering, and math. Worldwide, only about 1/3 of all students in STEM-related fields are female. And as Deanna Sumanak-Johnson reports, a new study shows the seeds of that gender gap are planted early.
Oh my God. Which one did you program?
A fabric heart that lights up when you touch it. A simple robot with an arm that picks up and rescues small rubber ducks. These are all creations of grade 4 students in Brampton, Ontario, who attend Mega Brights, a girls-only robotics and engineering club at their school. Christopher Sherman, teacher librarian at Peel District School Board, who started it, was inspired by his own daughter. When she was 6, she expressed an interest to join robotics or STEM clubs.
She was often the only girl in that program, and she was a little bit apprehensive about joining, and she had some anxiety around that. So I thought, well, if there's a need with my own daughter, there might be a need.
New research suggests that perceptions that technology and engineering aren't for girls develop earlier than you might think. An article published in American Psychological Bulletin looked at data from 98 studies and 33 nations, including Canada, examining children's stereotypes about gender and STEM abilities.
On March 6th, the Living Arts Center came alive with creativity, energy, and passion as the Peel Dance Teachers Association proudly presented the 2025 Peel Dance Showcase. 22 elementary, middle, and secondary schools from across the Peel region gathered to celebrate the power of dance. Guided by inspiring teachers, every performance told a unique story as these young dancers showcased their incredible skills, creativity, and hard work.
To our dancers, I will say, this is your moment. Enjoy every step, embrace the energy, and let your passion for dance light up this stage tonight.
Congratulations to all the talented dancers and teachers who made this event unforgettable. Grade 4 and 5 students from the Area 13 family of schools came together for the 3rd annual Louise Arbour STEAM Challenge Change Day. Students explored the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, tackling some of the world's most pressing issues. Split into teams, they participated in 14 unique challenge events, addressing everything from local concerns to global impacts. Through creative engineering, innovative virtual prototypes, and powerful artwork, the students shared their solutions, offering fresh perspectives on how we can make a difference. Each team demonstrated the power of collaboration, critical thinking, and the impact of small changes that can lead to a better future for all. Proof that when we empower young minds, the solutions to our world's challenges are in great hands. Innovation, equity, and deeper learning. These values came to life at the recent Tech-Enabled Symposium, where the future of education continued to be reimagined and celebrated. With hands-on workshops and interactive stations, participants explored how technology can be a powerful enabler, empowering students to become creators, not just consumers, of multimodal content. Educators learned about the tools and supports available to create learning environments that enrich every student's journey, while vital partnerships with community organizations were highlighted, reflecting our collective responsibility to foster a better future. The symposium also marked the launch of Peel District School Board's updated Empowering Modern Learners vision, reinforcing our commitment to global competencies, an equitable learning culture, and student-centered environments. This is just a snippet of what's to come. Together, we are empowering students, supporting educators, and shaping a future where technology and learning go hand in hand.
March 6, 2025, the Peel Black Family Engagement Committee proudly hosted the Walk of Excellence at Lancaster Public School, a powerful celebration of student achievement, creativity, and success. This inspiring event brought together students, educators, and families to recognize the incredible accomplishments of our young students and showcase their talents. Let us applaud their journey, honor their accomplishments, and recognize the bright futures ahead. It was a fun night for all who attended, and we can't wait to see next year's Walk of Excellence.
Okay. Trustee Bailey, Trustee Clark, move receipt of that for me. All those in favor? Carry. Trustee Cameron, Trustee Alves, adjournment. All those in favor? Carry. Have a good night. Drive home safe.